National Invitation Tournament Final, Seton Hall versus St. John's University. The coaches are Al DiStefano of St. John's at left and Honey Russell of Seton Hall. And here's the opening tap-off of your Converse Cavalcade of basketball. Seton Hall in the dark jerseys has the ball. Mickey Hannon feeds Walter Dukes, and the Pirates have 2 points. Here are the St. John's Redmen. Dick Duckett's set is in there. And now Seton Hall. Arnie Ring drives in for a pretty basket. Very pretty indeed. An out-of-bounds play for St. John's. Duckett receives a throw-in. He fakes going in, then sets, and he hits. Seton Hall leads after quarter, 14-9, and here's slow motion on these 2 great college teams. Walter Dukes scoring from the pivot. The biggest crowd in Madison Square Garden history is watching the game as St. John's looks for a basket. Ed Cunningham jump shoots from the foul line. The Redmen again trying to cut down Seton Hall's early lead. Jim Walsh's one-hander rims the basket, and watch the marvelous pass by Richie Regan. From flat on the floor, he fires to Dukes, and Dukes scores. St. John's is up against tremendous competition. Davis fakes, and now he shoots, but it's no good, and once more it's Seton Hall. Regan almost loses the ball, but he still got it. Richie's jump shot is missed, but the rebound is grabbed by Ring. And he comes through with the bucket. There's Duckett, he's going to shoot. Off the rim, and Seton Hall rebounds. They're a dangerous shooting team from inside or outside. Here's one of their outside experts, Mickey Hannon. Good. Now a coach's eye view of St. John's fighting back. Cunningham hits for the Redmen, but Seton Hall leads 24-15 as we start the second half. It's the Pirates' ball. Harry Brooks' set shot is good. Once more we see Seton Hall in slow motion, and once more little Harry Brooks. He can shoot. Walsh takes aim for the Redmen. It's off the rim. But St. John scores on Davis's rebound. Mickey Hannon with the ball. Over to Regan, who's one of the best in the game. A pretty jump shot. The Pirates are increasing their lead. Seton Hall continues to show the way. Ring hits from the side. The desperate Redmen are now in a losing cause, but they haven't stopped scrapping. Duckett shoots a nice one-hander. And now the clock has practically run out. Solly Walker makes a steal and gives off to Bob Romano, but it's too late. The game is over. Seton Hall goes wild with jubilation, for they're the champions of this collegiate basketball classic. (58-46) over St. John's University. Seton Hall goes into the records as the 1953 Kings of the National Invitation Tournament. The Minneapolis Lakers, defending NBA champions, meet the New York Knickerbockers in the 5th and deciding game for the year's professional basketball crown. New York, in the white jerseys, gets the ball. And Carl Braun scores 2 quick points with a jump shot. Now the Lakers. Slater Martin sets up Jim Pollard for a nice one-hander. Braun's shot is missed, and Pollard rebounds. Over to Martin. When the former Texan hits, Minneapolis leads New York 22-18. Sweetwater Clifton with the ball. Over to Vince Barilla, who has the range on a set shot. Bob Harrison shoots for the Lakers, who are really clicking on one-hand sets. That's Connie Simmons scoring for New York. But the Knicks are up against a red-hot Laker team tonight. Harrison has another one-hander. The strong squad from Minneapolis is ripping into the Knicks in this second quarter. Their outside shooting is sensational. When Jim Holstein hits, they lead at halftime, 44-35. A scramble for the second half tap, and it's New York's ball. Jerry Fleischman setting. No good, but Vanderway tips it through. Now watch for some virtuosity by one of the Lakers stars, that former Stanford All-American, Jim Pollard. There's Jim with a beautiful running hook shot. Clifton twists through, but he misses. Pollard has the rebound, and Pep Saul and Slater Martin take it down. The basket by Saul. Now New York. Dick McGuire, number 15. His fancy pass is intercepted, but watch the double steal. Pollard fires down to Mickelson for an easy layup. But the Knicks are digging in and fighting. McGuire screens for Vanderway, who hits. Going in on the final period, the Lakers lead is 69-60. There's Slater Martin setting. He's good. Here's New York, and they're coming back strong. Vanderway feeds Simmons, who curls one in. High scorer for Minneapolis with 17 points is Pollard. There he is, going in for two of them. But the exciting feature of this game is the spirited comeback staged by the Knicks. After once trailing by 20 points, they've cut that lead down to 6, 85-79. Simmons' hook is up and good. The Knicks trail by 4. The Lakers ball less than a minute to go. Vanderway intercepts, and the Knicks trail by 2 points, 86-84. Jump ball, and big George Mikan comes through with the layup. And that basket sinks the Knicks 88-84. Minneapolis wins the game and the championship. For the Lakers are world's best in professional basketball. The Herald Tribune All-Star Game, featuring outstanding college stars from all over the nation. Among the All-Americans present is the leading scorer of the Pacific Conference, Bob Hubregs of Washington University. Ernie Beck of Pennsylvania, record-breaking scorer of the Ivy League. And Walter Dukes, the great center from Seton Hall. The coaches are Branch McCracken of Indiana at left, and Honey Russell of Seton Hall for the East. Here's the opening tap-off, and East, wearing the black, gets the ball. It's out of bounds off the West. Richie Regan throws it into Andy McGowan. He gives to Dukes, who feeds Regan for the basket. Pretty play. Here's the West. Ronnie Farisal of DePaul. Over to Hubregs. Joe Ritchie of Brigham Young. And Joe Cipriano of Washington, whose one-hander is up and it's in. Here's slow motion on the Westerners. Farisal of DePaul, number 16, the fine captain of the Blue Demons, has the ball. In he goes for an amazing shot from underneath the basket. Jack Molinas of Columbia uses Dukes in the pivot to set up an equally spectacular try. But it's no good, and West rebounds. Farisal dribbles down. Over to Cipriano. It's going up and going in. Here's some more razzle-dazzle to enjoy in slow motion. McGowan to Regan to Dukes, and there's the basket. Here's East again. Dukes to Molinas for the score. Right back come the Western All-Stars. Hubregs' long hook rims the basket, and East rebounds. Watch Molinas give off to McGowan. Beautiful, but West leads 31-30 at halftime. Here's the tap-off for the second half. Hubregs makes a break for the basket, but he can't shoot. Out it goes to Farizal, who really has the range. Now it's East. Molinas feeds Dukes, whose one-hander is good. Jump ball and more fast action in slow motion. Molinas does the nifty scoring from underneath. Farizal has it. Over to Ritchie. Hubregs is being guarded like a leech by Molinas. And Dukes rebounds. Regan dribbles down court. Over to Beck of Pennsylvania. The layup is missed, but Dukes gets the tip in. High individual scorer of the game with 17 points is the fabulous Hubregs. Just look at him hook out of the corner. Second high man of the night is Larry Hennessy of Villanova, who stages a one-man scoring spree in the final quarter. There's Larry. He hits for 15 points. A one-hander by Farizal misses, and Earl Markey of Holy Cross recovers beautifully. Over to Hennessy, and Larry doesn't miss. The game is a tremendous show of basketball virtuosity on both sides. But when the final buzzer sounds in this all-star thriller in New York, East defeats the West, 72-54. A most unusual basketball contest in Madison Square Garden. The New York sports writers and sportscasters meet the barnstorming Texas Cowgirls. As you see, these young ladies know the game. Here are the boys from the sports beat. Their big man is TV announcer Bud Palmer, former Knickerbocker captain, who's slightly taller than the Texans' Betty Herman. And here's yours truly. Referee Broody introduces me to Betty. Now the opening tap-off. Possession goes to our team, as easily recognized by our white uniforms and signs of advanced age. Almost at once, the boys call for a timeout and a libation from New York restaurateur Gene Leone. Then the tempo quickens. Leonard Lewin of the Daily Mirror gets a basket. Now it's true I was an Olympic sprinter in my college days, but this fast, I should have beat Jesse Owens. But here are the Texas Cowgirls. Miss Herman with the ball, stepping daintily to a score. Now the All-Stars. Dick Young of the Daily News gives to Glickman, who collaborates with Palmer for this scintillating play. Lewin gets the rebound. Once more the Cowgirls. That's Betty Lou Johnson, a sharpshooter for the Texans. It's up and around and in. Lou Efrat of the New York Times figures in the weirdest play of the game. Pursuing a ghostly ball, he dashes down court, and he finds it. He shoots and misses. A rebound is missed. A second try by Efrat fails. Another chance. Another miss. No wonder the Cowgirls lead at halftime, 20-13. Tap off for the second half. The scrappy young ladies from Texas quickly get another basket. There it goes. Better the sports writers and sportscasters should stay with typewriters and microphones. Watch my drive. Ouch! But Palmer recovers, and after all the wonderful passing I've seen, I'm trying it myself. See, that boy Glickman is playing like a tiger. His looping rebound is tipped in by Palmer, and that's the cue for action. Fast action. A cannonball basket by Palmer. Once more, the cameraman has me doing tricks. Now the girls from Texas. But just a minute. You see, I'm the fall guy in this pursuit. The girls figured that the only way to stop me was to corner me, put good, and tie me up. But you shouldn't really have bothered, girls, because it's obvious my playing days are all over. But let's watch Betty Herman. Ben Gould of the Brooklyn Eagle, Stan Isaacs of the New York Post, and Lou Efrat of the Times are all baffled by this dribbling queen. But ladies, bless them, are always baffling. Paul Sand on the post struggles for a goal when suddenly the girls declare, the heck with basketball, it's time to dance. Thus, the game is forgotten, and so is the score. For to tell you the truth, we sports writers and sportscasters lost, and lost ignominiously to those basketball heroines, the Cowgirls of Texas. Showdown in Kansas City for the NCAA championship. Kansas, last year's winner, versus Indiana, and the Hoosiers in the dark uniforms get the ball. Interception by Gil Reich of Kansas. That's Dean Kelly driving through to score for the Jayhawks. Once more, Indiana, #1 team in the Big Ten Conference. A high pass to Schlunt for a tap-up doesn't gel. Bourne rebounds and gives to Kelly, who feeds Patterson. Again, the Hoosiers. Bob Leonard's feet is deflected, but Farley recovers and connects with Schlunt underneath for the score. Kelly again. No good, but B.H. Bourne gets the rebound. Watch Indiana set up a screenplay for Leonard. But Bob doesn't make it. And that's Alan Kelly going all the way for Kansas. Again, the Jayhawks in this ultra-close ball game. Gil Reich hits from the side. And now Indiana. Their big man, naturally, is Don Schlunt. Watch him in the pivot. Pretty play. Just as big and just as rugged as Mr. Bourne of Kansas. Alan Kelly feeds him, and he barrels right on in. But this big game was destined to be close all the way. Notice the careful guarding by KU. When Leonard flips into Schlunt for a left-handed shot, the score is tied at 41 all at halftime. Here's the second half tap. Indiana gets possession, and the Hoosiers quickly score by their All-American Bob Leonard. It goes. Now Kansas, and the defending champions are making a tremendous game out of it. Reich feeds Bourne on the pivot, and he's good again. Charlie Crack feeds Farley in the corner. Dick is off, and Kansas has it. Alan Kelly takes it down, and the Jayhawks set up carefully for a play. Dean Kelly's jump shot is up, and it looks as though it's good. But late in the game, Indiana leads 66-64. Leonard makes it 68-64. Now it's Kansas. And throughout this game, the teams have never been more than 6 points apart. Bourne's hook cuts it to 68-66, and the auditorium is jumping. 11 times the score is tied. Right now, there's just over a minute to go, and it's Kansas ball. They take their time. Dean Kelly drives in to tie the score at 68 all. Leonard tries driving with 27 seconds left, and he's fouled by Dean Kelly. When he makes his second free throw, Indiana leads by 1 point, 69-68, and Kansas calls time for a strategy meeting. And now the final 27 seconds are ticking away. The Jayhawks waiting for the final shot, and brother, this is tense. There it goes, but Jerry Albert's shot is missed, and that's all for Kansas. The wildly happy Hoosiers of Indiana are America's NCAA champions. The annual East-West All-Star Game at Fort Wayne, Indiana. George Mikan, in light uniform of Minneapolis, representing the West, faces Ed McCauley of Boston for the tap-off. Mickelson, another Laker, grabs it and gives to Rochester's Bobby Wanzer. As Vern Mickelson again. The Westerners move that ball around quickly to give every man a chance to get the feel of it. And here's Wanzer with the first score of the game. Now the East All-Stars, who for 2 years running have won this mid-season NBA special. Bill Sharman of Boston, missing on a jump shot, but easy at McCauley, scores with the rebound. Andy Phillip of Fort Wayne, number 7. Into Mikan and a basket. Plenty of all-star talent down on that floor tonight. Syracuse's Dolph Shea sets, and he hits. Of course, the man to watch always is Mr. Basketball himself, George Mikan. But notice Phillip's nifty feed to him. There it is. Big George is off, but he rebounds and lays it up and in. Boston's Bob Cousy. He passes backwards to McCauley, but Ed's one-hander is missed, and here come the Westerners. That's Mickelson taking it down. Phillips' side set is perfect. Let's watch Cousy, number 14, regarded by many as the sharpest little man in modern basketball. Bob has gotten underneath, and East now has another basket. It's a close ball game. Mickelson's reverse layup is tapped in by Michael. West leads 35-34 at halftime. Second half tap-off. Mikan misses a one-hander, but Mickelson comes up to tip it through. And now the East. Neil Johnston of Philadelphia scores with that sweeping hook. There's a lot of interest shown in this game, and a record crowd in Fort Wayne's new Coliseum is here to see it. That's Phillips setting from the side and setting straight. McCauley's pass to Johnston is swiped by Mikan and Phillip. Mickelson feeds Mikan, who wheels in to score. It's still a very close ball game. West leads 57-55 as we go into the final period. Shays misses a jump shot, but Johnston rebounds and flips it out. There's McCauley with a nice one-hander. Carl Braun of New York drives in. He misses, and here comes the West. The old Barnhorst of Indianapolis. Over to Mikan, who fails to connect, and now it's East ball. Watch Bob Cousy feed Braun on a pretty play. The West has it now. That's Bob Davies of Rochester with a short-range one-hander. West again with high-scoring Mikan in the pivot. George takes Mel Hutchins' feed, and the West leads 76-73. Davies takes the ball away from Bill Gaber of Syracuse and flips down to Slater Martin of the Lakers, who gives off to Mickelson for an easy score. East needs points, and with less than a minute to go, they need them in a hurry. Cousy misses up close, but Gaber gets the rebound. Larry Faust throws into Davies, but that's all the time there is. The West wins 79-75. A thrilling contest all the way as the top performers of the NBA's Western Division gain their first triumph in the All-Star Series. As in past seasons, the 1953 Converse All-America Basketball Poll has been compiled by Chuck Taylor, Converse Rubber Company's ambassador to the basketball world. More coaches, sports writers, and sportscasters have a voice in these selections than in any other poll. Again, Chuck has taken into consideration the defensive qualities, individual performance, and scoring ability to make up a finely balanced five. The following players are his choices. Ernie Beck of Pennsylvania, and the Ivy League's most prolific scorer. In the East-West All-Star game, we see him execute a beautiful pass-off under the basket for Walter Dukes to score on. Ernie rang in 47 points against Duke to make him the most valuable player of the Dixie Classic. Against the Harlem Globetrotters, he scores with a pretty jump shot. Bob Hubregs of the University of Washington. Graceful as a ballet dancer, this boy is the finest collegiate hookshot artist ever seen. There's Bob, and there it goes. The greatest scorer of the Pacific Coast Conference, Bob can hook from way outside, and with what ease. Watch the bullseye. Bob Leonard of Indiana University, a firebrand competitor and a crackerjack of a guard who can set shoot with the best of them. Bob switched from forward to guard position to fill an opening and to make better use of his long one-hand shots. A dangerous man on driving sallies or from way outside. And here's the big guy, Walter Dukes of Seton Hall, who led the Pirates to their National Invitation Tournament crown. Dukes is a terrific man on the pivot position. 6 feet 11 inches tall, he was a tremendous performer all the time. Despite his size, Walt had great speed and the ability to hook them with either hand to score from either side of the basket. Dukes didn't always shoot from that post position, of course, but so long as he was in there, Seton Hall had a tower of strength underneath the boards. In this slow-motion sequence, watch him fight to cage that rebound. He gets it. Next, Don Schlunt, the mighty mainstay of Indiana's NCAA champions, top-ranking team in the land. A pretty play under the board for Don. Here we see Schlunt scoring a one-hander from the side. Up and in. Don was a threat no matter where he was. Indiana has long been famed for fine basketball players, and Big Don is a giant among the best of them. Tom Gola of La Salle, probably the greatest schoolboy star to come from the greater Philadelphia area. Here we see Tom in slow motion. That's him, number 15. A cooler, more poised player you've seldom seen. He's the boy with the statuesque one-handers. Gola is also extremely alert on the defense. A boy who often stole the ball when it counted. Watch him block and take the ball down there. Another case of Gola's alertness resulting in a basket for La Salle. And there they are, Chuck Taylor's 1953 Converse All-Americans.